Hey Alex, just want to go over just a couple quick things before your game tomorrow. Yeah, so I don't have your POV and I can't like actually access the replay file because it's from last patch. So all I have to go off of is Henry's POV. Yeah, I can't go over everything. I also don't want to go over everything because it might be too much, but I just want to cover just some high level, bigger issues that I want you to think about and try and fix before tomorrow's match. Okay? I guess the biggest thing for me is like your mid and late game rotations. So this is your guys' game. I'll play out the clip and then say my feedback.
I'm
Like
like
right here.
I'm like ready this
Okay,
way.
find them.
Okay.
Wait for it. Okay.
Okay, I have to go up mid wave at this point. I can't do too. Unless we take it together. Oh no, let's go, let's go.
Walk it together.
Yeah, I have LDR and like 50 gold, but
Yeah, we can look for a pull too.
yeah, I'm down.
The rail's fast enough. Can we collab, Gragas? Okay, good pull. He's explode.
Okay, so yeah, my feedback here and my comment is yeah, the awareness for you to come and flank mid, it needs to come from you, obviously, right? So, yes, ideally, in an ideal world, right, you would push in the bot wave and then come to flank mid, right? But we don't have time in this scenario. You should already rotate mid. Honestly, you should probably rotate mid a little bit earlier. Like, we get the top turret, we're calming, pinging that we're going mid. Over here, I know it's like a little bit hard to see, but your bot lane, your wave is like here. You can already start walking mid at this point. Like just think about the options, right? You can't push bot any further, right? I know it's like a little hard to see the mini map, but right? All our vision is top side. We have no vision for you bot side. It's not safe for you to actually like, push out any further and, contest the bot tier 2 or anything like that. That's the first thing. And then what would the enemy do here? Like the enemy team is not showing on our top boards, so they're not top side, right? They could kill you bot, right? Like I just explained, it's not safe for you to push bot any further. But what they should do is push mid, right? If you're the enemy team, you should push mid here for sure, right? So that's where they should be. That's where you should be as well because you have the inner track to mid right now. Okay? I'd say the general rule of thumb is we always want somebody on the mid waves, right? Usually it's the ADC, but in this scenario, our ADC moved to the side lane for a play, so someone needs to fill that gap. That person has to be you in this scenario. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, my next comment is here. So we have Baron. We're obviously in a really good position. Basically, we should be playing 2 lanes instead of 3 lanes. So what does that mean? What you end up doing is you go top, you push, 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 push. We're pushing mid. We're trying to push bot. That's basically playing 3 lanes, right? And what is the issue with playing 3 lanes? The issue is that we can only get vision on one half of the map, right? So what ends up happening is our rel, our support, gets vision, floods vision on the bot side of the map, which is good. But if you are pushing top all the way, all the way, all the way here, we're going to have no vision to protect you. Does that make sense, right? So the only play the enemy team could make and the only way they could come back in the game is if you keep pushing top and they kill you, right? Does that make sense? Versus if you just come mid and we just play 2 lanes, so mid and bot, there's no way we can lose basically, or it's just very hard for the enemy to play, right? That's the general concept. There's obviously exceptions and nuances, right? So I'll go over a couple here, right? So your top wave is coming into you. So I do want you to catch this wave, but after you kill this wave, you should immediately come mid because I want us to play 2 lanes, right? You should no longer push the next wave here. I'd say another exception or nuance actually happens this game where you end up actually solo killing this Garen, which, you know, theoretically shouldn't happen, right? And because you kill this Garen, now we can technically still play 3 lanes. But the more consistent thing against teams that are better, or if we're not super ahead, especially, right? The more consistent thing is you should have come mid. You should have never gone this way. You should have come mid, and then you'd be here where the Tristan and Rel are, and we can play 2 lanes safely. Does that make sense? Pretty similar thing happens a minute later. We're all respawning here. Start like autopiloting, you're like walking top. But your wave, look where your wave is. Your wave is so far away. What would be better for you here? It'd be better if you just open mid and we do the same thing, we play 2 lanes again. Do you see that? Why is this better? So if the Garen keeps pushing top, then we just hard fist them, we hard shit on them here, right? We just go in and the Garen can't join. If the Garen keeps pushing, 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 first of all, that's going to take like another, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds. Then you can go back and catch the top wave right before it hits your turret. Or we can still do the same thing, right? Basically, we're on a timer here, but we have a window, and it's a pretty long window to be proactive to play, right? If you come mid, it'll give our entire team the safety that we need to do whatever we want, basically, right? We can get super deep vision with no repercussions because you're here. Okay, so same kind of idea, right? But what ends up happening is you go top and it's just really slow, right? We don't feel as safe going in here, right? Because it's 4v4. Yeah, I know we're super ahead, right? But the idea is like we're not as safe going for these kinds of super deep wards, right? Versus if you just came mid, you would already be where our Kindred RL are, and you can safely escort them. And it's also like not safe for you to even be top because once again, we don't have vision for you. The way supports ward is like it's usually on one quadrant or one half of the map. We don't have vision for you. You're vulnerable. You can't even push out that far. It's like the same thing in your Ornn game, right? So you're coming out of base. You're coming out of base right now. Look at your wave. It's all the way here. Our vision line is bot side, right? If you go top, you will probably die because we can't cover for you. So just use your timer to go mid. You should proactively calm that you're down to look for a play, right? I know you don't have ult, but we still have Lissandra ult, we still have, Darius ult, we still have some tools, right? I'm not saying we necessarily have to fight, but you should proactively calm that you are here to do something, right? And worst case, we don't fight, but we still get, super, super deep vision with your help, right? We get super deep vision. You use your timer to help us get deep vision, and then you go back top, and then your wave will be there ready for you to catch. Okay, that's the idea. And you actually do get punished for it this game. So you go top. We are making a play bot side, which you should be a part of. And then you die on this timer, right? What the enemy team did to you here, this should have happened 1 minute ago. Does that make sense? If you did what I'm suggesting, then we would have bot side lit up. You wouldn't have died. We would have potentially killed more people or whatever, and then you'd still be in time for your top wave. Okay? And I'd say, yeah, just going into our matches, I don't know your champ pool very well, right? But if you're playing Gragas and Ornn, with those kinds of champs, we should always weak side you and strong side Henry. Okay, so think about that some more when we're planning objectives, when we're assigning lanes, things like that. Okay, because yeah, obviously your champs do much better playing weak side. Okay, so next segment here on team fighting, just a couple comments on your team fighting and your positioning. Right, so this drag fight. What ends up happening is you get a beautiful ulti to push them out of Kindred ult. Overall, you played the fight really well, right? I'm just a couple pointers for you, right? Your positioning here could definitely be better, right? Look, you are posturing in a way where it's like you're playing like some AD carry. Do you know what I mean? But honestly, you're like the beefiest person on our team. You and Rel are the beefiest people on our team, right? So you should be posturing to block, right? And protect our carries. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't be too scared, right? Because if they do go on you, I mean, you have E. You can even cancel their engage. First of all, I don't know why the Nautilus ulted you, right? But I'd say, don't be scared here. You know what I mean? Even though the Nautilus ult is hitting you, you should just face tank it, right? Because it's still advantageous for you to be the one that eats all the damage here, right? And it's very unlikely that you die. If they do go on you, right, off this Nautilus ult and you're standing here, we have all our carries that are here to support you, right? And our Rel is here to, disrupt their backline or whatever, right? So don't be scared here. I know Gragas does good damage, right? But you are not the main carry in our comp. So you need to be frontlining a little bit more, okay? So similar thing happens at this next dragon fight, right? So look at your position here. This positioning is fine, right? I think it would be a little bit better if you and Rel don't clump. Actually, it's for sure better if you and Rel don't clump, right? You should be standing here, right? Just give some space, right? I think you're playing too scared, right? You see you're ducking behind our Tristana here, right? You should be right here. Don't be scared, right? Because if they do go on you, we have people to cover for you, to support you, right? There's no shot you're going to die here. So there's no reason to be scared. And you're the best person to eat the Nautilus hook. When the Nautilus, he's about to shoot his Q here, but when he shoots his Q here, he's looking for the Tristana because he sees an opening, but you should be the one that covers this opening, right? Does that make sense? It's very good / lucky that he hit you. I'm not saying it would have changed the outcome of the fight, but it's definitely a good thing that he hit you, right? That's it for team fighting. So I have a couple comments on your laning phase, and obviously I don't have your POV, so I'm going off of comms and like what I'm seeing on the mini map and things like that, right? So this is the first game, right? You're playing Gragas versus Garen. This is the status of your lane. You're pretty in this scenario, so you do want to recall pretty soon, right? So let's play this out.
I think that was not fair.
I have enough mana for E, that's about it.
I think Nautilus had the roam time or smaller.
Uh,
But they probably would just die.
Maybe like just look to help me crash top.
Right, so you're commenting about crashing top, which is the problem I'm having, right? Because this isn't worth your jungler's time. This isn't worth Kindred's time because your jungler needs to recall so that he's in time for his second respawn. He's in time to defend his Raptor camp, which you'll see. I'll play out the clip in a little bit, but that's the idea, right? And on top of that, you have TP, right? So you can just base TP back, no problem, right? That's the advantage of TP is like you can leave your waves in a not as good spot because you can TP back. Yeah, and I understand the new TP is slower, but yeah, that's the idea of TP, right? And it's even better this game because the Garen doesn't even have TP, so you will just win the lane once you TP back, right? Because you have your tier, I mean you'll have some little bit of items, right? But the more important thing is that you'll have full mana, full HP to contest this Garen. You know what I mean? That's the idea here. So I don't like it that you're asking for your jungler to push out your wave because it'll affect the next respawn of his camps, right? Now our Kindred is late to his second respawn, right? And if he didn't help you push out the lane, he would have already killed these two camps, right? But now there's a risk that he loses these Raptors that should never have been there in the first place, right? This game, like, we won this 2v2 exchange, so it doesn't apply, but the point is your call, your comm could have punished our jungler, right? And it's honestly on the Viego for being slow on this Raptors. Okay. Okay, and I'd say with the champs you're playing, right, like Gragas and Ornn, if you can find a way or a timer to proxy on those champs, that's ideal, right? I think this timer that's coming up, there's some potential here. You push out the Garen, or I don't know what the status is, right? But yeah, basically you get the next wave here. It looks like the Garen recalled, right? Otherwise he would be actively contesting this wave. So he recalled, right? You get this wave. Your conditions are pretty good. I checked and you already have Cosmic Drive, so I don't think you have a lot of gold to base with. So what I'm suggesting here is after you kill this wave, you just E over the ledge here and you try and catch this wave here. I think the Garen comes back with Stridebreaker, but I think it's pretty unlikely that he'll kill you when you have phase rush and everything like that. I don't know for sure, right? But that's my thought here. Okay, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is if you have a timer or an opportunity to proxy on these kinds of champs, you should. What are the advantages of proxying, right? So Garen can never hit your turret. You have more time to work with because you are killing the wave extremely high, right? So you can check jungle camps, you can flank mid, right? Or you can even get a better reset off without losing any creeps, for example, right? Just make sure when you proxy, you have a decent idea of where the jungler might be. Or you can even ask your teammates, ask Wanjun where the jungler is if you're scared. Okay, but I do want to bring it up because there are definitely opportunities and you're going to find more opportunities in your games. Okay, and then just one more laning thing that I noticed, right? So you're playing Ornn versus Rumble. And I see that you already used your pot, so I think you popped your potion now, right? So it's actively ticking. So just some small feedback, right? But you want to stay low on D shield, right? I'm sure you know that, right? But I would be more okay if you potted like this if the Rumble was running Ignite and he could actively kill you. You know what I mean? But he's running TP for some reason, so there's actually no shot he can like burst you down. Especially because you're going to hit level 3 on this wave, right? So it's very unlikely that he can just one-shot you. If you're taking Ignite, it's more of a delicate balance. Yeah, the balance is like you're trying to stay as low as possible without dying before you pop your potion, right? As soon as you think you're in kill range, then you should pop your potion. But I would say I'm pretty confident in this scenario that you're not ever in kill range. Okay, that's it though. Yeah, I think let's start with these feedback pointers, and we'll go from there.